Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the podcast. I have with me, as always, Casie Halseth. She is the author of Abomination Born. It is a fictional portrayal of her real life experience in the mystical realms. It is action-packed book that is full of lessons and insights and calls for other Abomination Born folks around the world to start connecting, just like we are doing here. She is an award-winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and reading her books that she just effortlessly draws her audience into her world, both on her on the stage and in her book. So welcome, Casie. I'm happy to have you with me.
Thank you.
Yay. Yeah. My name is Ashley Kim. I am the author of Villainera Goddess. It is a book that I wrote to help women on their journey to set boundaries, build confidence, and heal themselves. It is a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I used to survive my villain era. I went through my journey alone, and I wrote this book so that you wouldn't have to go it alone. And I will ride the crazy roller coaster with you. So, like, hands up in the air, write it, scream. Hey, okay. And then we have two returning guests today, two sisters that Casie and I love. And we are so excited to have them on today. We are talking about the new moon. So introducing, we have Stephanie. She is the founder of the Feral Consultant, where she taps into her intuition and offers guidance through tarot, dowsing rods, pendulums, more. And you can book a time with her at theferalconsultant.com. Highly recommend it. And we also have Rachel Williams from Designed Resilience. Rachel's website and YouTube channel provides ways, means, and methodologies. I'm sorry, I can't talk today, by the way. Methodologies to help you be your most resilient self when life throws its inevitable curveballs at you. She is a breath of fresh air and provides advice that we all need when it comes to digging ourselves out of the dark pits of despair and crawling towards the sunlight. And yes, you will find both Stephanie and Rachel are just rays of sunshine, positivity, and laughter, which is why we love having them on here. So, welcome, both of you. So happy to have you here.
Thank
Yay.
you.
So, after the longest intro of stumbling my words, we will launch into our show and tell. And I apologize if you can hear my dog. She's getting crazy over here. No? Okay, good. She has allergies and she's being wild. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Sorry. This is the part I feel like I always mess up. Okay, so show and tell time. Casie, do you want to go first and kind of kick it
Sure.
off for us?
Sure.
All right. Do you want me to pull up the die? Die? Is that plural for
Yeah,
dice or?
those are
Yeah.
die. I
All
was at
right.
the Enchanted metaphysical event in Conway, Arkansas this past weekend, and from Deborah Burris and Joel Green, I got these dice, and so I thought I would use them for when we had Christy Hoffman on. She talked about the angel numbers
Mhm.
book. And so I thought, well, I'll throw the dice to see what my angel numbers are for today. And that's what they came up with, 331.
Love this. I love this. And I'll show the book real quick so that um, people can see it. So Angel Numbers 101 by Doreen
Right.
Virtue.
It's an
cannot talk
old
today.
book, but it's still good.
Yeah. And so you got 331.
Yep. The ascended
Um,
masters remind you that their lives were testaments to the power of positive thinking. Keep your words spoken, written, and thought on a positive level to attract a more desirable outcome.
yes,
Who
I
wouldn't
love
like
that.
that?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I love this.
That was page
This
88.
this speaks a lot to me today too, because I was just talking to my husband about how I've been trying to talk about my children as if they're always listening in on me. And so like before bedtime when they're going to sleep, I've been trying, and so, usually we sit down like, oh, this happened today, how are we going to get through it or whatever. We're sitting down to say, oh, I just love the way they did this or that, or whatever. Just trying to like speak that positivity. And obviously you have to work through hard times too, but yeah, how wonderful would it be if you overheard your parents and they were talking about how great you were. So anyway, sorry. I It spoke to me today. Thank you for
Wow,
bringing that
that
in.
is nice, isn't it? Yeah.
I love that. Okay. And the dice, like that is just so genius.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Awesome. Okay. Stephanie, do you want to go next or do you want someone else too? Sorry, I
Sure.
just
Yeah, no worries. There you
awesome. Okay.
go. I am sharing two crystals today. The first one I assume is a quartz cluster. We like to go camping in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. We are native Texans, but that is one of our places where we love to go. Ho Chi Town is such a cute little town, and there's a beautiful lake and trails and hiking and all of that stuff. And when we were at our campsite one time, I was kind of just, as you do, looking for rocks, and I found, I found this little cluster, and I couldn't believe it. It's one of the first times that I had actually found a crystal like in the wild and not like at
Yeah.
a store. And so I saw like that little piece was kind of sticking up there on the left, and I was like, that can't be a crystal. It can't be. And I pulled out the whole thing, and I couldn't believe it. So it's one of my favorites because it's one of the only ones that I found myself. And I love it. It's shiny and pretty, and I love it.
Yeah. It is pretty.
Yeah,
What a
I love
good
it too.
find. Yeah. And they,
Yeah.
I think I've said this like a million times on this podcast, but I was reading somewhere about the quote was something like when you're out looking at rocks and then one of them looks back at you, and that
Yes.
just like always stuck with me. So yeah, this reminds me of that.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what it was.
with this
Yeah.
particular arrangement, they all kind of look like misfits, don't they? and,
Hmm.
and it's like a cluster of misfits all getting along just perfectly together. I absolutely love
That
it.
is a beautiful view, and it fits so perfectly. So
Yes,
I
I
love
love
it.
it. Misfits looking beautiful together.
Mhm.
Right. That's how we roll. The other
Yeah.
one I did find in a store. This is celestite. And for whatever reason, there's some, everybody I think connects with crystals a little differently. Um,
Mhm.
a celestite is one of those that when I put it in my hand, it was kind of like when Harry Potter picked up the wand in like the first one, and like the wind starts blowing and the light starts shining, and like it's just really beautiful. And it was the first one I put it in my hand, and I just like I felt different. I felt the energy of the stone itself, and
Mhm.
ever since then, I've had this kind of love affair with celestite. Every time I see it, I just have to like say, "Thank you for being here. I love you. You're so pretty and sparkly and shiny." And then if I can't live without it, then I take it home. But
Right.
but this piece in particular is just so beautiful. The picture really doesn't do it justice. And of course, you can see I have dogs because there's dog hair everywhere too. But the
I love it
celestite
too.
itself, they do. It's such a beautiful, like light baby blue, silvery sheen. It's such a beautiful stone, and I just
Mhm.
really love it. It's one of the bigger pieces that I have too, because a lot of mine are kind of like little trinkety size, but that one I felt I just had to have, it had to come home with me. So those are two of my favorites from my collection. Thank
Ooh, I love it.
I love it
It is
too.
beautiful.
you.
Awesome. Okay, Rachel, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Which one do we want to pull up? Well, did you want the cards in here today, or was
It
that?
didn't matter. I think for show and tell, I'll do the chakra rocks,
Yeah.
chakra crystals. So I have the neurospiciness that when I adopt a new hobby, I like get all the things. And so I got a bunch of crystals really fast. And I had trouble. I had all the little note cards, and like I would try to remember what they were and like, meditate with them and all that stuff. And I kind of got overwhelmed. And so what I realized is as I was looking at my collection is that the ones that really resonated that I could remember what kind of crystal they were and what they were meant to help you with were the ones associated with the chakras. And so I kind of culled my crystal collection and just placed them. And I shared in a previous podcast my ofrenda, which is what's on the shelf above it. And so this just stays kind of under that in a little opening. And I know all of the crystals in it, and it helped me to feel like I could relate and really learn and internalize what they were. And plus, it's pretty. Like, rainbow is pretty.
It's
And then
gorgeous.
thank you so much. And I kept the selenite rods behind it just to keep it all nice and clear and keep that energy moving. But I felt like it was a way to honor all of the crystals, and I've gifted all the crystals that I didn't keep for my personal collection to other people. But I just rather than like this was where I settled between like diving all the way in and getting all the crystals and getting the books and reading all the things and trying to do it daily to like this is where I am happy with my
Yeah,
collection. So yeah,
I
that is.
love it. I love it. Yeah, I love selenite too. We use it for headaches in our house. So if we have headaches, we put it on our forehead. And yeah, it's amazing how quickly it works. And I don't know why it works, by the way. I've never even Googled it to find out why, but yeah, it works very quickly for us.
Hey, that's all you
This
need.
is
You just need it to work.
yeah, yeah. This is
You know
beautiful.
the uh particle board. No, it's not particle board. I forget the name of that board that we put up before you paint the walls. Before you paint your walls, you put these boards up. What do I
Like drywall.
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 Yeah.
That was it. I just had it in my mind and it was gone. Okay, inside drywall is gypsum, and gypsum is a form of selenite.
What?
Selenite, when gypsum becomes crystallized, it becomes selenite. And selenite is what we use to, cleanse all of our stones, and it just is cleansing. So our drywall in our houses is a good thing. I mean,
Wow.
it's helping us to, we can appreciate it because it's helping us to cleanse the atmosphere.
Yeah, that is really cool. I had no idea. We would paint like whenever we paint, we would write intentions on the walls and then we would paint over them. So that kind of makes me feel even better about it with,
Yeah.
writing that over the drywall. I love that. Okay. Were the tarot cards for our Mad Lib, or did you want to go over this?
Yeah, I just so yeah, I wanted to see what I would pull out from the cards that I pulled for the Mad Lib.
Cool. Okay.
So that's just
So
how I'm
open it or
using.
no? Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Um, okay, all right. First, I have only two things today, but the first thing I wanted to go over is first of all, look at my lovely little lavender bloom that I drew. So I have been on a mission to make my own lavender vanilla coffee. There is a little coffee shop that makes it. And it's very delicious and it's, made with syrups and stuff like that. And then I did go to Starbucks and theirs just was not even close. And so I'm like, I'm going to make my own at home. And so I was like, I have lavender blooms. Like, why am I not just using those to instead of like, because I was like looking for syrups and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, wait, I have the real deal. So I have a fourth teaspoon. I've been going back and forth. I think I might like an eighth of a teaspoon better. It's not as strong, but it's still there. Like you smell it when you take a drink. So I just put in my little tea diffuser, put that in, make my coffee. So then it's just like making a tea, right? It diffuses in there. Put a tiny drop of vanilla extract in there, and then a half of a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of honey. And it is amazing. It is so good. And then if I'm feeling really crazy, I will hit the 6 ounce on my Keurig and make it a little bit, more concentrated so I can add ice to it. And that's really good that way too. So I don't know. I've been on this mission of like, how do I infuse herbs into more things that I have, or like, how do I take what's in my backyard and use it, like use it on, I don't know, consume it or put it on my body, whatever. And so, yeah, this is one of them. And so it's kind of fun that I get to use lavender from my yard too. And, like, I don't know, I just love that kind of stuff. So I had to share
That's
that.
That's
amazing. You have a climate to grow lavender in. I've tried to grow lavender before, and in North Texas, mm-mm.
Yep,
You
not
can, but
here.
you have to be on it like every day.
Oh,
But
really?
that's awesome. You get to
Yeah.
grow it. Yeah, it's just too
Yeah.
hot here. Yeah,
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
And it's only certain kinds of lavender because some of them die. Like they
yeah.
don't stay over the winter. And I thought they were all perennials in Iowa, but I guess not. But yeah, I have found one and I don't even know what kind it is. I wish I knew because I would get more of this one, but it's huge now.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
I've been able to, yeah, get lavender buds off that. It's just now starting to spread out a little bit. It doesn't spread as quickly as my other herbs. It's not like mint going wild. But yeah, it's getting there and I'm so excited. Yeah, I want to plant more.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, the last thing that I have on here is I saw this meme. It says, imagine trying to learn English and finding out that butt dialing and booty calls are two different things. And it always cracks me up. So I think everyone knows what the two things are, but um, it cracks me up. But what I like about it and what I like about our podcast is that we have so many different people on the podcast and we all say things a little bit differently, you know? And that's what I like about what we do is the more interesting, new, fresh, perspectives that we get to learn about and talk to, we realize we're all saying things a little bit differently. We might use terminology that's a little different, but you kind of settle into a, group of people or a mindset that speaks your brain's language and makes sense to you. And so I always laugh at this just because I think it's funny, but I thought, oh, I also kind of like that little subtle meaning that's underneath of it as well. So I just had to share that. I had to add something immature into this podcast today.
Yeah, that's cute.
Thank you. Okay. We'll go back to the Mad Lib later. I'm going to stop sharing and back with it. Okay. So, I was thinking new moon first, but maybe let's just get updates from Rachel and Stephanie first, just kind of see how you guys are doing. Rachel, the last time we had talked, you were flying to be on a panel.
Mhm.
I think a diversity panel or something like that, maybe. Yeah, so what have you been doing since then? I feel like it's a
Yeah,
lot.
so that was an amazing and incredible opportunity. So I, luck of the draw, got asked to be part of the panel. I do not work in diversity, equity, and inclusion, but I do speak. And so I think the organizers were looking for people to carry a conversation. So I got invited. First time to be in downtown LA. It was super cool. Would definitely go back. And I got to meet a girlfriend for dinner. She lived in the area, so that was really cool to connect. And I've stayed in touch with the leadership of the conference, and I'm actually kind of on my own DEI journey now. They have coursework that you can purchase and participate in. And so the first class I took was about intersectionality. Blew my mind. Okay, so the idea
Yeah.
behind intersectionality is that there are like multiple components of you. So like we are all women, we identify as women, so that's one thing that we intersect with. Our educational background, the fact that we're all in different states, whether we're a mother or not. Um, all of these pieces of a person come together in every interaction. And so just learning about that complexity and how difficult this was in the context of employment. So how difficult it is for an employer to make space. And I think that's why a lot of people have just decided not to be empathetic to it because it's too difficult to meet the needs of all the intersections.
Mhm.
We're seeing that not play out super well. It's not a great strategy for the world. We need to be
Right.
more empathetic. Um, but also, it's just given me a deeper respect for all of the people that I meet who are bringing all these angles and all of these reflections into whatever conversation we're having. It also made me aware of the intersections of my personality that I am more or less willing to share. So, specifically for like this conversation, I'm always kind of like, people will want to get like they ask me about my hobbies or like what, and I will wait a little bit and then I'll be like, I'm kind of witchy and like just wait and see like did I get hot? Like, are you okay? Are you okay? Am I okay? We're okay. And then, I know if that's a conversation, that's an intersection that we can cross together or not. So
Mhm.
that was a really cool experience. And I think one of the things, just kind of separate and following that since we've been together, or since last time we talked, um, settling in Colorado and watching all the things going on. We still have a home in Texas that we're trying to sell, so we're paying attention to all of that. And I has deepened my desire to be present because when I let my brain go run away with
Mhm.
all the things that are not in my immediate vicinity, I get like I call it, like burnt bacon. Like my brain gets like burnt bacon. Like it's crispy and kind of like staticky, and
Yeah.
so I try to avoid the burnt bacon brain by being present. So that's
Yeah.
what's been
I love
new
that.
with me.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, being present can fix so many things, but also hard to do. So yeah, I think that's amazing.
Thanks so much.
And I
Yeah.
like how you try to try to feel people out before you let them know that you're kind of witchy. I I I have a problem with that in myself. I just blurt things out, and before I know it, people are like, "Oh my God, get her out of here! Who is she? Who invited her?"
I do the same
And
thing, Casie.
yeah, I think that is
I
the
forget.
beautiful and like so with specifically that intersectionality, right? Because like I and Stephanie and I were brought up, like we had all of like the normalized check boxes. Like we went to church and we are white people and our parents were married to, a certain point and like all
Yeah.
the things that you kind of felt like it didn't a privilege to say we were, heterosexual and all the things. And like, as I become closer to myself and I realize I'm not quite so cookie cutter,
Mhm.
I feel like it allows me to see what other people exist in all the time. And
Yeah.
so I'm grateful for that eye-opening, but it has made me a little protective, Casie. And I hope to get to the point where you are, where I'm just like, this is who I am, and you can like it or suck it, like whatever. Like, I hope I can get there, but I'm walking the path.
I don't know if it's a good goal. I don't do it intentionally. It's it just slips out of me all the time.
Swear though, it's like a subconscious safety mechanism. I swear it because there are times like I try not to blurt things out, right? And there are times I do, and then I get home later and then I feel like I'm just embarrassed and humiliated. Like, why did I freaking say that? That was so stupid. But then like a day or two later, I'm like, I didn't like that person anyway. Like if they didn't like that part of me, I wouldn't even want to hang out with them. So we just got it done. Like we ripped off the band-aid. We know we're not a fit. Yeah, hair flip. Done. So yeah, but I do the same thing, Casie. Like I will just blah and I'm like, that was stupid. And then I don't know. And maybe it's just me trying to make myself feel better later. I'm like, no, you're okay. You don't need them anyway. No, I do the same. Yeah, exactly. And I think intersectionality is so good to learn about. Like, I mean, it's huge, right? And like you said, it can feel too big to want to learn about it. And so I think, yeah, I commend you for that. I have stickers that I made, like water bottle stickers, but it said try again, but this time make it intersectional because it is like such a huge aspect. And for people listening, there's a book called Hood Feminism, and it helped open my eyes up to intersectionality and just feminism in a way that's different than what a white woman, especially a white woman who was in corporate America, like we think of feminism and we're like, yeah, we're going to get that raise. We're going to blah, blah, blah. Whereas other women are like, I just want to feed my kids. Like, that's it,
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
it's so different. But to think about it that way, I was like, wow, I know nothing. It was such a good book. So yeah, thank you for bringing that topic up. I think that is still very important and almost probably more important than it was, 5 years ago. So okay, Stephanie, let's hear your update and how it's going with the Pharaoh consultant. And I think last time you were on, I said I saw you on TikTok and you're just so cute and funny and I loved you on there.
Well, thanks. Yeah. It's been good. I've kind of had a couple of different fun experiences. I have a friend who runs these Reiki cleanse sound baths like every so often,
Wow.
and I went to one and I fell in love with singing bowls. I bought an entire set
Wow,
because I
wonderful.
had to have them. I
Yes.
play them regularly, and I've gone through a lot of like smoke cleansing and energy cleansing and things like that. But just like at the end of a stressful day, like just getting out some of those singing bowls and just listening to the resonance and just sitting in it
Mhm.
is awesome. I've been meditating for a really long time, and that just turns, it's the first thing I've ever found that just turns my brain off. It's like, nope, you're just
Really?
going to listen to some sounds. And yeah, and my brain just goes, which one are we going to play next? And that is the extent of my concern during that whole time. It's like, which one am I going to play next? Amazing. It's funny because I have been listening to them, like, you know, a Spotify playlist or something, and it's not the same. It's not the same as being in the actual room with the bowls as there was. It's incredible. There's so my friend has a friend who is just exceptionally talented at it. She's just very intuitive with which one to play and when, and the harmony she creates and dissonance. I'm obsessed, and I like have not really done a whole lot else. That is kind of what I've been obsessed with lately. So I dove into that, kind of on the line with the what you guys are talking about with the diversity, inclusion, and all of that. I have been really, really trying to diversify. I have one social media, and that is TikTok. I don't use Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or anything else. And I've really been trying to diversify that, really to challenge the algorithm a little bit and see how much I can diversify that. And as I've been pushing towards listening to more Black creators, more, you know, minorities and indigenous and things like that,
yeah.
I have learned so much. So much. Oh my gosh. It has been so eye-opening and so just enlightening. One of the things I made a TikTok about it recently, was this idea, kind of like what Rachel, you were talking about, is, you know, right now we're dealing with a lot of stuff in, you know, our country as a whole, and we'll leave that there. But it was a Black man who came on, and he was talking about how it's new to a lot of us, right? We haven't experienced a lot of this in our lives, and in Black culture, that's kind of their natural state, is dealing with all of this difficulty and oppression and challenge and strife. And he's like, you know what we do? We don't sit there and share these horrible images and stories. We dance and we sing and we find joy and we share it. And I was like, that is the most uplifting thing I think I have ever heard. And I just had to share it. And he was so on target. And that one video of his changed my whole mindset. It was just so amazing. So I strongly encourage that, because there are so many great perspectives out there that when you make an initiative to try and listen to those perspectives that are really, you know, maybe not something you've been immersed in before, you just learn so much you didn't even know was out there. So yeah, singing bowls and challenging the algorithm have really been the two. The Feral Consult is going great. I am kind of revamping my website right now and figuring out some different avenues that I want to work on. I've been doing a lot of like one-on-ones, you know, consultations to try and help people. But what I'm really finding is coming up more is people want to know about their spiritual gifts. They have questions about, this is happening and I don't know what it means and I don't know where to go and I don't know if this is anything or if it's real. And that has been such an amazing experience to be able to be like, oh yeah, or have you been experiencing this? Has this been happening? And just having those really, it is so incredibly fulfilling to see those light bulb moments in people when they're like, oh my gosh, like this is happening and I love it. And oh my gosh, it's great. So I'm trying to figure out how to reach people who have that need and that want to discuss those types of things. So I can help them if they're interested, or at least point them in a good direction for some resources if you know, they're maybe not ready for a chat yet. So
yeah,
it's been fun.
I love that.
You made me think of something I saw. So there's this a channeler I follow on Instagram. And he was like, you may have recently been feeling like brain fog or increased body temperature or some of these things. And he goes at the end of it, he goes, if you're not a perimenopausal or menopausal woman, this might be spiritual. And I was like, what? Like here I am thinking I'm all connected to like my higher self, and it's just hormones.
God, hormones are such assholes.
Yeah.
That is
no,
so funny.
And don't get me on a soapbox, because that is one of my theories too, is that those are the means to the end. It may be perimenopause, in truth, in biology, but the end result is a spiritual connection that is not invalidated by the fact that you have a scheduled hormone change in your life.
Yay, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm way
Crone
beyond
level
that.
unlocked. Yeah. Yeah. I cannot wait to
I'm
unlock
a
my crone level.
9-year-old girl
Love
again.
it.
Yeah. No, I
Oh
completely agree
man.
with you, Stephanie. Yeah. And I think too,
Yep.
like even our periods, like I think that's one of the things that we've kind of been lied to about and taken away from us is the spirituality and the power that comes with that. So like we've just been told we're just these crazy women who have periods and we're like, you know, like, oh, here she goes, versus like that's when your intuition kicks in. That's when you're gonna like just leave some bullshit behind. That is when you're gonna make some really hard decisions. Like that, by the way, you're not gonna even think about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
None of that was handed down to us. Like instead, we were just filthy creatures who are wild during our periods. Like,
Yeah.
It's the same as the moon cycles, and it was
mhm,
always called the moon. You were going through your moon cycles. And so
yeah,
as the body is getting rid of everything, just like within your life, you get rid of all the things that you didn't need that month, and you let it go, you let it go. And then the body starts to build back up again. And then at the end, it lets it go again.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
actually used to in indigenous cultures would sequester the women who were on their cycles that they would sync up because they believed that they were too powerful to exist within the normal part of the society. And there are cultures who then took that and kind of demonized it as they're being sequestered because they're bad, but it wasn't actually that. It was so the women could congregate and build on
yeah,
that mutual experience of power and cleansing. So yeah,
yeah. Oh, that's
yeah.
interesting. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I've been trying to like teach my daughter that it's more than just a horrible time of the month, which is hard, when you have cramps. Like it's hard to be like, isn't it a blessing? Because, it doesn't feel like that. Especially if you're not given any tools to like turn it into something good. So like, I don't know. We've been working on it, but it's hard to do in like this society because like I'm the crazy mom talking about it. No other she's heard this nowhere else, right? So it's like, yeah, mom's just being weird again, but maybe someday, it'll all click together. She'll
It
understand.
will. It will. I firmly believe it will. I am a boy mom, but we have conversations about that stuff too. Like that he
Yeah.
needs to know that girls' bodies go through different things than his does. My oldest is ready for that conversation. My youngest wouldn't even understand what's happening. So, but yeah, it's important, I think, to have those types of conversations because that's the only provider of context they're going to get. So you're doing a good
Right.
job.
And
Good job.
yeah, and thank you. Yeah, thank you. And how we react to it. Oh yeah. My son is 17. And that one of my goals with him was like, no, you're gonna know exactly where to go to buy tampons and pads. You're gonna know to ask about a flow. You're gonna know about everything. And you're not gonna be grossed out by it. You're not gonna make a face. Like it is what it is. Like if a girl drops her pad on the floor, you pick it up, hand it back to her. It's not a big deal. Like, and
Yep.
luckily it has gone that way, but I just thought I do not want him to be that little D-bag in the hallway that's making a girl feel like crap about her period and her body. So far, so good. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, no, totally. Totally. Because I mean, we've had the conversations where I've seen the faces and he's like, and I'm like, that's okay. Get it out now. Get it
Yes,
out now.
exactly. Yeah, it is kind of horrifying
Yeah.
to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you're saying about
Badasses.
TikTok, yeah. Uh, um, with TikTok, I feel like their algorithm, I think it's going to change, by the way. But their algorithm is more open to allowing us to see these creators that we would not, you would never see those people. And I check, obviously, because I have the same phone. I consume the same kind of content on all platforms. And that is one of the things I watch. And with TikTok, I get the people that I want to see on there, and I get these really cool things. Whereas on the other platforms, like Facebook, every time I log in, I'm fat, I'm tired, my husband doesn't like me, and women suck. Like that's all I get, right? And then every once in a while I get a motivational quote that is something that I would want. And then Instagram, it's a tiny bit better. I get a little bit more of that, but I get a ton of that I'm fat and I need to get on this diet medicine, right? So like that's it. And then I get on TikTok and I get drag queens dancing and I get people, talking about the things that they're into. And I get these women that are talking about how they set boundaries. Like I don't get any of that on the other platforms. And it's slowly eroding to be Facebook. Obviously, they put their open source in there, like they're connected. And then even now, if you follow like Black authors, when they talk about their books, the little search thing underneath them says white authors, so that you can't even search about Black authors. So it's like it's changing and not in a great way. So yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, because like get your
Yeah.
algorithm where you need it, because you will be fighting to keep it that way. Yeah, so like even now, I have to like search drag queens and put them back up because they'll just go away. And then, like I have to like keep doing it. So yeah, anyway, I love TikTok right now anyway. It's
Yeah.
I do too. I've had a lot of fun with TikTok.
yeah.
I can be on. People used to tell me that they would get lost, in time with TikTok, and I'd wonder why, And then Ashley introduced me to TikTok, and yeah, time goes by really, and I'm enjoying myself. I'm reading all these beautiful things that people have done and said, and it just puts me in such a good mood. I'm just so happy when I'm done.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things too is to, whenever you get on a social platform, don't hook your contacts up to the platform. Because I've noticed that could be, I know it is one of the bigger things for me too, is that I did not hook my contacts up to that platform. And so somebody has to go search for me, which eventually, they find me. But then I'm like, well, I'm myself on TikTok, so I don't think half of them are going to follow me anyway. So that's totally fine. I'm going to say what I got to say.
Yep, I do that too. Like that kind of like that. 'Cause I like Rachel. I also have that like initial like I don't know if I can trust you with the information that I have about myself. So so I do that too. And TikTok is the one place where I am like completely the the biggest weirdo that I want to be. And if you don't like
Yeah.
it, too bad. But maybe just don't follow. It's cool. Just keep going. There's plenty of
You
other
can
people out
leave at
there.
any time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime, anytime.
Anytime. Yep. Yeah, that's how I feel too with it. Yeah, I kind of feel like this is my platform. I'm just going to be me. This is it.
Yeah.
And everywhere else I'll, do whatever I got to do. But I feel like Facebook makes me too angry. Instagram makes me like it's literally like if I go to the Instagram like For You page or whatever theirs is called, it's like AI generated boobs and then how to lose weight. And it's like this isn't even what I'm searching on here. It's like insane. Or it's like the other thing I get is like parasites, which I don't search for that either, but like AI generated parasites. Oh, like
Okay, so I have to
I
ask
shouldn't
you a
have said that
question.
around my phone.
This is
What?
a synchronicity that I had. I have a parasite dream, a repeating parasite dream. Do any of you all have that too? Or is it just me?
No, just
Nope,
repeating
nope.
parasite AI generated videos.
Cool,
That's
cool, cool,
it.
cool, cool, cool. Good to know I'm alone on that one. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know how you could do it. I don't know.
It's not fun. It's not fun. I won't go into it because it's not awesome.
Is it
But
the exact
it,
same
I
like
had it like two
situation,
nights ago.
everything?
Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. And I had it 2 nights ago because I've started keeping a dream diary where I write down the dreams I can remember, and that was one I definitely did not forget. So you said parasite, and I was like, oh, I know that.
Well,
My first
some of
thought
the
was that you're a mom. You have parasite stuff to you already.
some of the best experiences I ever had was within a realm of millions of insects and bugs and things. And
Huh?
like so the insects, the parasites, they might be chewing away the things that you're trying to get rid of.
Oh, I like that interpretation so much.
I
Yeah,
like
because
that.
they removed my barriers. The insects is what removed my barriers so that I could, like you're talking about the sound bowls. Well, probably from the sound bowls is why the parasites have come. The insects came to me when I was 10 and they removed my barriers to my taste. I could taste things. They removed the barriers to sound. I could hear things and sight and touch. You know how insects, their feelers feel things.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I had feelers from then on. I am part insect. Matter of fact, I have to be careful with the lavender because a lot of insects don't like lavender. I
Oh,
have to be careful with some of the things that bugs are allergic to because I'm so close. The insects did this
mhm.
to me. So your sound bowls may have brought this on. You called them in.
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit. Can I tell you a little bit about my dream?
Yeah,
Do you want?
yeah, please,
I
because
won't
I
go
just
into
saw the
like those.
face you made. Yeah.
Okay, so within the dream, they start out very small, like little. I don't want to be gross, but like they're like little white, and they get on my skin and they burrow into my skin before I can get them out. And then when they're in my skin, I can see them moving, and then they get long, long and stringy, and I can push on my skin and pull them out. Like so, like they don't come out when they're little; they only come out when they're long. So it makes sense what you're saying that like they would be absorbing things, and then I get them out and get rid of them.
Let them
So
walk out on their
interesting.
own. Show them the way to
Ooh,
go. Let them get out, and
okay.
let them take it out. Either through the top or the bottom or through your middle. Yeah,
They do come out of my feet a lot. They come out of my feet a lot. Yeah. Interesting.
the
That's so
war against
interesting.
insects is so
Huh.
misunderstood.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay. Well, that is a wonderful and lovely perspective that I did not have before. So I greatly appreciate this conversation.
Yeah, the singing bowls are quite magical.
They really are.
They you know that it's a frequency that you're hearing. You don't hear with your ears, you're sensing the frequency. And you've called them in. You've called these creatures, they respond to the frequencies. Like when I used to play the violin out on the deck, the wasp, the let's see, it was a wasp, a fly, and something else that flew all the time. Anyway, they would land on my strings as I would play the violin because they're drawn to
Hmm.
uh, the frequency that the violin strings would give. And I'd let them play as long as they didn't, get in the way of the bow. Sometimes they'd
Yeah.
try to come really close to the bow.
Oh, so they liked it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, that's so interesting. Huh. Now I'm kind of
Fascinating.
scared to use the singing bowls.
Yeah, yeah. It's
No offense to you, Stephanie. I
yes.
don't want the maggots that turn into tapeworms. Ugh.
Well, I will say, so I have had dreams like that before I started with the singing bowl. This last one was definitely more, I remembered very vividly more than I have before. So I don't, they may be connected, but I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
Maybe they came when you were 10 also.
I've had it for a long time. That
Hmm.
a parasite dream, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
wow.
call them a parasite dream. I I call it an awakening.
There we go. That's a much more positive term for it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
I like that better. I'm gonna go with that. I have to go
Yes.
change my dream
Awakening.
dictionary notes.
Yes. Keep us updated on your next dream. Like what
Oh,
happens.
I
Now
will.
I need to know.
And you say thank you the whole time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're taking care of everything. They're letting
Oh,
go of all these different things. So thank you. That's your job, is to say thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I've heard
That's
of
a
something similar with psychedelic experiences
Yes,
mhm.
that
yes.
oh,
you
Ayahuasca.
visualize the bugs
Hmm.
and then they go in and out of your body and they do the cleaning. So I think
Oh,
that's a
interesting.
pretty strong theme with that.
wow. I
Really?
may have to like not do that at least until I'm 100% ready. Never experienced that before, but man, I get well. Okay, so I'm trying not to. I'm talking way too much. I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Keep
No,
going.
that's all right. I
So
I
there was
have a
the head.
I have a little centipede lady who will wave at me. She's just this
Uh-huh.
little centipede and she waves at me. And when I so that's how for sure then I'm okay.
That's awesome.
Mm.
So that it's so funny you say that because I had so the most recent sound bath that I went to was this past weekend, and it was outside, and I was laying in the grass. And usually, like I can't stand the sensation of bugs being on me. Like I want them off. I don't like it. I can feel them crawl. And I had this parallel of like there were bugs crawling on me, and I didn't move. I was just trying to be very still. And I was like, this is what Mother Earth feels like with all the little bugs like
Oh,
crawling all over her, and she can feel their little. And I didn't get bit. I didn't get like stung, because that's what I'm worried about. Like mosquitoes just love me, and so I didn't want to be all itchy and gross. But like I just laid there and was like, okay, I'm just gonna be part of Earth for a little bit and let these bugs do their thing. And it was the coolest thing. Like it was such a great experience because I was just enjoying the sound and the frequency, and then bugs were calling on me. And normally I would have been absolutely upset. Like, I
Yeah.
gotta go. I'm done. Give me some AC. I'm out. But for whatever reason, it was great. So the combination of this conversation and that experience, I think, will be very helpful the next time I have an awakening dream. So thank
Yeah.
you. That was very helpful.
Dang. I love this. Okay, so now I have to share something because I feel like it's in theme too. Last night, I was getting ready to take Nova to bed, and this big, a effing millipede in our house. And I've never any anyway, we were working through it. But it was crawling into Nova's room. We have it in the middle of the carpet. We have no idea where it came from, nothing, but it was crawling into her bedroom. And so first I'm like, oh my God, is there a leak in the bathroom? Like what's going on? Because like the bathroom's right beside her bedroom, freaking out. And so then today I was like, maybe I should see if there's I don't know, another part to this. And we moved it. Sony moved it outside. And so I did some research on it because Nova, of course, freaked out. She was crying, like, I don't like it. And so we talked about, some bugs are ugly and they can't help that they're ugly. Like, but nobody should be killed because they're ugly. Like, like anyway, so Sony moved it outside for us because obviously we weren't going to touch it. It was bigger than what they say we have it was huge, but bigger than what we even have in Iowa. And yeah, so anyway, I did some research on it, and I'm glad I did because I found out that they're very like docile, sweet creatures. They don't attack. They just curl up in a ball when somebody attacks them. Um, anyway, so yeah, I'm still processing the millipede that was bigger than my finger. And anyway, I will also be checking for a leak, just in case. But yeah, we'll see if I don't know. Casie, what do you think? Oh,
Well,
Stephanie, did you just get that?
I have a rule with all the bugs, stay outside. You're going to stay outside. If you're inside, I can't guarantee that you will survive if you stay inside, you know, but
Yeah,
so
yeah. And so
I put out that rule.
we have
But my dad was a master with bugs. I mean, he was just
oh
really good.
really?
No, yeah, we grew up, in Minnesota, and then he came from northern Minnesota, and that's just millions of mosquitoes up in northern Minnesota, and he did not get bit by mosquitoes hardly at all. And when he was down here, even Al was amazed. A mosquito would land on his arm, and he would talk to the mosquito. Oh, you don't want any of that, he would say to him. And he always would say that. Oh, you don't want any of that. And the mosquito then would get up and fly away.
Oh my gosh.
I need to try that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I need to
Well,
try that
some
with June
people say
bugs.
that, his blood was maybe high in sulfur because sulfur
Mhm.
keeps away a lot of mosquitoes and things like that in your blood. So it could be that, but honestly, we would be just surrounded by mosquitoes and nothing would be around, nothing on him.
Wow.
He was just a natural at it.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
think when I see something that confuses me that doesn't fit, right? Like I try to understand the nature of it, right? So when I think of a millipede, I think of all of their tiny little legs and how they move and how they work together to move this big crazy body forward. So if you were taking that to like analogous space, right? Maybe there's a lot of moving pieces that are working together that are helping to move you forward. So persistence is great. Keep up the forward motion and try not to be weirded out by grossness.
Yeah.
I have in my story, I wrote about my experience with the insects and the millipedes or the centipedes. I'm not sure what they are. Anyway, the one is dressed like Fred Astaire, and the other one is dressed like Ginger Rogers. She's got a gold dress on and with all of her arms, and they're holding on to each other, and he's got his top hat on, and they're dancing. And then she always waves at me. And anytime I see all the bugs, she'll show up and she's always going to wave at me. But it's always Fred
Oh,
Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, I didn't check to see if anyone was waving at me. I just freaked out. And I feel like I'm kind of at my limit anyway because we got hermit crabs for our 5-year-old. And totally cool until I saw them in my house. Like, oh, we're just gonna bring these in here and we're gonna leave them. And then yeah, anyway, freaked me out. And yeah, anyway, so then the fact that we have these hermit crabs and then we have a freaking millipede, I was like, this isn't even a safe place anymore. Like, we're burning it down. We're gonna start over. We're done.
A lot of things come from our boxes that we get from, when we order things from Amazon and things.
Yeah,
Things are on the boxes or in the boxes or with the
yeah,
boxes.
that was my other thought. Yeah,
Yeah,
is
and
yeah.
it's
So
just
I
what's going
didn't.
to happen.
Yep. Yeah, and I did have that thought too. I did not voice it out loud because I didn't want our 5-year-old to hear it because then every time we get a package, she's gonna freak out that, which I feel like I do enough of that for all the entire house, really. So we don't need anyone else to do it. But yeah, I had that thought too. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna take it as a sign of good things are coming to us. Lots, like this many good things are coming to us. Yeah.
Many, all of them. Yeah, centipedes are the ones that you don't want to be around or at least touch, but millipedes are okay.
Oh,
Good to
really?
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Millipede,
centipedes can
yeah, the
actually bite.
millipedes weren't as gross too. Oh, I didn't know that. Ew. Okay, yeah, this was definitely a millipede because I Googled the difference and then I had to look
Yeah.
at the pictures. But yeah, it was a millipede. It's so gross. So yeah, we are working very hard to appreciate all creatures, and so I'm really trying on this one a lot. Yes. Okay,
Well,
so keeping
love
an
and
eye on. Oh,
respect
go
are
ahead.
different. Love and respect are different. So you don't have to love them to honor them. You
That's
can
true.
just
Yeah,
like be like, you're good, but you stay over there. Like Casie said, you
yeah,
stay outside. Like, I love
yeah.
you and
You
I'm
do.
not going to kill you, but like outside.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. That I'm trying to get there. Working on it. Whew. Okay. Let's shake off the millipedes. Ooh. Okay. So this was so much fun. We have a Mad Lib that we put together. Well, you guys don't know what you were submitting your answers for, but I did. And so together we wrote a new moon water ritual. I'm going to share my screen because I can't read today. And as I stumble over the words, you guys can read it with me. Okay. So before the call today, I had sent, so anyone not familiar with what a Mad Lib is, it is basically where you're writing a story, but you have words missing, like a noun, a verb, color, things like that. And so then you ask another person to give those words to you without knowing what the story is about. And then you put them in there and then you read the whole story afterwards. So this is a new moon water ritual that everybody can do tonight during the new moon. And I'm going to read it to you. Okay. This new moon ritual will call upon the power of water and the energy of pyramids to manifest nurturing more roots in your life. This ritual will help open yourself up to the feelings of giddiness and joy as a reminder that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. Yay! To get started, pour clean drinking water into a shell, place it outside next to a bird and your favorite hagstone. Next, sit on the ground, close your eyes, and chant 526 times, I surrender to my dreams, the rune of the water, and the regality of the moon. To complete the ritual, collect your water the following morning. Use it to make coffee, tea, or tequila. It is important to center yourself and reinforce your intentions as you complete the ritual. So before taking a drink, hold the cup to your big toe and shout, You have the power. Take a deep breath, release it, and enjoy your drink. Congratulations on skipping your goals to the next level.
Oh,
So,
that is so
yay!
good.
Everyone can do this new moon ritual. Everyone has a big toe. Um, Hopefully you have a hagstone as well. Oh, this was so fun. Thank you for playing along with this. I will send this out and I will also put a template out if anyone else just wants to do it for fun. With their friends that are also witchy and weird, because anyone else would look at you like you're crazy. But yeah, I love it. So what I liked about this is it was like uplifting. as well as funny. So it like worked together. Oh, the other thing that I should explain to people watching is that Casie, Stephanie, and Rachel used tarot cards and oracle cards to come up with the answers. So I gave them like I need a noun, a verb, an emotion, and then they used their cards to put the answers together. So yeah, I loved it. Yeah, thanks you guys. I had fun doing it.
I did too.
And then closing, is anyone doing anything besides this shell on the big toe ritual? Anything else that you're doing for the new moon?
Well, I heard it is the luckiest new moon. So I'm wearing an outfit. I take my earbuds out because I don't know if you see it, but
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
cute. Says lucky.
it's a big glittery shirt that says lucky. And then I have solid green pants on and I'm wearing sparkly shoes.
Oh,
Oh, oh, I love that.
So I can't wait to see what good luck will fall on me.
What inspires from? Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I do too.
What a wonderful little theme.
You're using about the big toe like a 526.
A glittery
Well,
big toe.
Glittery
yeah.
big toe. Oh
Yep.
man, that was great. I think probably for the new moon, I heard that so it's in Cancer, which means that Cancer is typically like a very womby, mothery, but I feel like this one's going to be more like divine feminine, like mother bear energy. So I'm kind of trying to channel some of that confidence, power, and just sit in it and enjoy it. So yeah.
Nice. I like that. I love that. Yeah, I think my goal is to kind of along the same lines of mother is just kind of big sister energy myself into, what I'm working on in life and do that. Sisters are loving, but also like very direct. And so I'm going to give myself that, kick in the pants with love. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, mine is more of a mindset vibe, but I am going to get one of my I only have one little tiny singing bowl. It's copper. Is it copper? No, it's brass. I'm sorry. But I am going to get that out and use it tonight too. So hopefully no bugs, but if they come, I will accept them warmly. All right. What about you, Casie?
Well, with this new moon, one of the things that I need to work on is not blurting out things because I do find that I offend people when I say, well, when I saw this or when this happened, I'll say different things. And I'm talking to people who are not into our world at all. And I do need to learn to not talk. I'm a high audience. It's really difficult for me. I'm going to work on that.
Well, just so you know, I love it when you blurt stuff out. So I don't ever hold yourself back from me. Just so you know. So that's one reason why I love meeting with you every Wednesday is that because you say things, I can say things, right? And so
Well, like
yeah,
you say like, well, on this channel you talk about this, and on that channel you talk about this. Well, my problem has been I only see myself as one channel, and maybe I need to realize that there's more channels out there and
yeah,
not be so open around everybody.
yeah, I get that. I mean, yeah,
I'll work on it.
go ahead.
I needed to hear that, Casie, because I am, I think this move and a lot of different things and my therapist and all the things I'm working on, like I was super good at compartmentalizing. Like I thought my superpower was the ability to be the appropriate version of Rachel to make you as comfortable and light and like you could do all the things that you needed to do, but I was super good at like being. So while I get I mean, I've molded myself on the value of being the different channels that all these different people, what I thought they wanted, because I wasn't in their brain. Like I was just assuming what I thought they wanted. To hear you say that you want to filter as someone who has considered that my superpower, it breaks my heart because I love you. I crave you. So I don't want you to not pursue that and see what things it brings into your life. Because not everybody's brain is capable of receiving you, and I get that. And it sucks to have that rejection because they're not able. I've avoided that a lot,
Yeah.
but I just had the feeling I had like, God, I'm so glad you're who you are and how you are, and
Hmm.
that I've met you at this point in my life. Because I want to be more like you. But I also know what it is beneficial to come into a room and have no negative effect because I knew exactly what you needed. And I just tap, 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 and then I take my happy ass away with no adverse effect. So I get it. But man, are you
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, you are,
Completely,
Casie.
completely agree with that. Yeah. I think if I could add a third layer to that, that's kind of the in between, is that who you are is sacred and special and important. And people, you have the right to set the boundary of giving that truest version of yourself to the people who are deserving of it. So if you're finding that you're being hurt by other people's expectations of what you're supposed to be, then maybe they shouldn't have access to that truest version of you because it's sacred and special. And people who have earned that trust for you, or for me or for whoever, get that authentic, true version that blurts out whatever and says whatever because they've shown that they can love it the way it's supposed to be loved and to be cared for the way it's supposed to be. So I know, but I was right with you. Like, no, don't do that. I don't want you to. It's great. But again, Rachel's got a great perspective. If that's going to help you with something, then go for it. But it would be a shame to kind of take that beautiful flame that you have and then put a little thing over it, because it is beautiful. And we all obviously have grown from it just within the last hour. So I have, personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's a difference between protecting your flame and not letting people dump water on it, and so as long as you're protecting yourself, because I do feel like, if your personality is bright red, but people can only handle pink, then okay, give them the pink, but do it because you're protecting yourself, not because they're turning your red into pink, if that makes sense. Like, don't let them dilute you. So anyway, but I totally get working on that, Casie. I totally get working on that. So we will be your safe place to say whatever you want to say. So if you had to hold something in all week, then Wednesday is going to be the day where you're like, this is what I would have said to this person, and this is what I mean, that's why I wrote a book, because I held it in. And then I let it all out. But yeah, I get that. Even so we have a retreat coming up, and Rachel, I think you're going to be there for writing. And I was literally driving the other day thinking, man, how am I going to not be like crazy Ashley? How am I going to tone myself down so these people aren't like, how do I get out of this house? I don't want to be with her. So I get it. I have those thoughts too. Oh goodness. Okay. Well, Casey's going to work on protecting herself from the people who aren't cool. And I'm going to big sister myself. Stephanie is going to mother herself. And oh my gosh, Rachel, I forgot what you said.
I'm going to be lucky.
Yeah, you're going to be
That's
lucky.
right.
Yeah, that's right. Sparkly and lucky. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for being here. This was so much fun. Like, I had so much fun. And I'm glad that you were with us. Okay. Well, we hope everybody has a good rest of the week and a wonderful new moon.
Bye,
Yay.
everyone.